Hello everyone. Welcome to today's stream. I'm going to be continuing um the same thing that I've been doing for the past 4 streams. Really been enjoying this project. Uh Making sure everything is intact, and we are. Okay. First of all, we gotta open up GDevelop. Uh Second of all, to any nearby kitties. And I did talk to one of my friends, and we found out a solution. Uh, Currently, um, what's it called? When we go gather rings, hop around, do whatever, bug on collision. The second we hop on a spike, rings, they don't ring properly. But, what's it called? For the little art, like the ring of, well, rings around Sonic. Um, we can close lots of this stuff. But if we go here, last stream, since I couldn't figure it out and the stream was getting pretty long, I decided to say screw it and do it all manually. And as we discussed, that is not good. So, my friend sent me some code. That we are going to be referencing. Okay. I'm just gonna read this real quick. I have it pulled up on my phone. Okay. What we're going to do is I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna just deactivate it. Uh oh, it's okay, Cyber. I just got the notification on my phone since I have a different YouTube account for just like stuff I generally watch. And I just got a notification for my own stream. So don't feel bad. Notifications are always wonky. But okay. Um While. And we're gonna grab the while. Okay. I'm looking. Ring counter. So I'm gonna look at my variables real quick and cross-reference. And also, get music up. Because music's always nice. And what we're going to do, we are going to open the Sonic Physics Guide on Sonic Retro. Go. We're gonna find a ring. Ring loss. There we go. And as requested, I did get some Undertale music for today's stream. But I'm going to configure some stuff around Streamwise real quick, and then we're good. Okay. So looking here, we got our speed, got our starting angle. So this, what's it called? So this code, from what I see, it converts it to radians instead of degrees, and that makes it work. Which, nothing wrong with that. So I'm just checking, make sure we got all of our variables. We got our value before dropped count, flip time count. I don't know what that's for. So we can delete that. Flipped. Set to true by default. Okay. So we're going to set it to true as well. We got our speed, we got our values. So while ring counter. Okay, while ring. No. All value, variable value of dropped count is less than 32. We will be repeating these. So we create an object at our player location, which I'm just going to copy this from here. I'm going to ignore this. I'm going to set ring drop, X speed. No, speed. Horizontal. Okay, X speed should be set to cosine 2 radians. Put that here. 1. Okay. Ring. No. Gameplay. Drop to rings. We do not have angle. Okay. What we're gonna do, take a look at all these variables that I need. Okay, ring angle, starting angle. Value before drop, that's an additional variable. They're gonna do ring angle. By default, that is set to 0. Starting angle is our radians. And ring speed, it's set to 4 times all of our math stuff. Speaking of our math stuff, we should really get our calculator up for the stream. We're gonna get our equations, x, so no, v for value, we set that to 1, s for scale, which is always 4, x for exponent, which is setting to 1 for now. So now we set up our equation, v times s times 60 to the power of x. There we go. Looking at this again. The dropped rings. Ring angle. Ring angle to ring starting angle. Okay. We're going to set it to ring angle. What else do we gotta do? Times the ring speed. Ring. I have caps locks on. Variable. No, gameplay. Gameplay. Dropped rings. Ring speed. More math, but it's not gonna be my horrendous, like, 2-hour long math from last stream. It's going... my friend sent me the code, and I'm going to be, like, referencing that. So rings shouldn't be taking that long to do. Start the timer. Okay. Okay. Ring flip toggle. Actually, no, we gotta get the vertical speed. Vertical speed. Feels right on like some of my original numbers when doing this. So for that, we do a negative sign times that. Timer ring flip with toggle. No. We go to variable. Change variable value. Ring flipped. Toggle. And then we're gonna start the timer. Dropped rings. Actually, I might do this differently. Okay, we will not be starting a timer. I lied. Mwahaha, I'm so evil. So this is our instance for each dropped ring. We will be ignoring this. Okay. So this is our current, like, what happens, like, after all this beginning stuff. This is just the ring of bouncing around, stuff like that. Okay. Then we go to variable value. We go to ring flipped. If it's true, we change our XP. Set it to negative. How's reading those? Ring dropped. We gotta find hedgehog character. We set it to horizontal speed. Now speed X. There we go. So now it's negative to this. Okay. And we add. Okay. Ring value. Okay. So variable value. Change variable value. Gameplay. Ring angle. We're gonna add to 22.5. We're gonna go. Okay. Going to we can delete this now. We don't need it. We're gonna do here. Paste. I'm gonna set ring angle to ring start angle. Gameplay. Dropped rings. Ring. Starting angle. Okay. I'm gonna set it to this. Ring counter we gotta add by 1. Ring counter. So dropped rings. Set to. No, not set to. We want to add 1. Okay. That is this taken care of. Rings flipped. That's all correct. We're gonna do, rings. Dropped count. If it is equal to this, is our 16. We're gonna set the speed. But we're not gonna set, like, our direct horizontal speed. We're gonna set it to speed here. Set it to our lower speed. So once we hit 16, we're at 4. But once we hit 16, we go to 2. So we change the value to 2 and grab this number. I'm going to set it to our 480. Then ring angled, we're going to go set it back to our starting angle. Okay. I'm going to see how this works. I have no clue how many rings I just dropped. So what I'm going to do, select every single ring in existence. They're all mine. There we go. So we got 15 total rings. That does not look like 15 total rings. I'm going to... what's it called? Deactivate these so I can see it better. And I can, like, better grab them. Jump around. Get hit. Grab all of these rings. We had 15 to start with. Now we got 30. 2. Okay. So it seems like no matter what, it will repeat until we got 32 rings. If we get hit again, that's all of our rings. Okay. So something's clearly wrong here. So is damage true? Ring angle set to 0. Ring speed. We're going to set that to its default value, which is the 960. And then we're going to set dropped count set to 0. Okay. Grabbing our reference. Study it. Ring counter. Okay. Let's try this instead. Minimum gameplay. Dropped rings. Value before drop. Gameplay, value before drop, 32. There we go. Damage true. I'm gonna set value before drop. I'm gonna actually split this up. Put this stuff down here. Right before drop. Go here, set this up here. If variable value, we go to gameplay, values, rings, is less than or equal to 32. I'm gonna set it to gameplay value rings. And of course, we gotta change our rings to 0. I don't see where in this it does that. If it's less than or equal to, but if it is greater than 32, it'll just be 32. Okay. Now we're not getting any ring droppage. Okay, that's not good. Minimum 32. Let's see what we put in for one. Minimum of the two numbers. So if we use this... Whoa! I don't think that's supposed to happen. Sonic the confetti holder. So we're just gonna... What's it called? Dropped count is less than... Ring... No. Gameplay... Value. Dropped rings... Value before drop. So this should get us our exact number. No. Okay. We got 7 rings. That's not going anymore. Okay. Dropped count is less than a value before dropped. I'm gonna change our... this. The value before dropped. Oh wait, we got that set in rings, so we can delete this. We're just gonna put this all back, nice and tidy. Okay. Uh-oh. That's not supposed to happen either. We now have 200-something rings. Oh boy. That's not supposed to happen at all. Can we lag this out to oblivion? That's my question. Is this spring yard? What do you mean by that, Ethan? Can we lag this game out? My question. So we got the abyss of green rings. Go. Like, we could see that the game can handle, like a decent amount of rings. That's not supposed to happen down there. Okay, let's do a little something called a spin dash jump and then get hurt. So we get a bunch of height. And then all these rings go everywhere. There's going to be some on spikes, I believe. No. Yes. I do plan on releasing this once I get Green Hill Zone fully complete. This is just a recreation that I'm doing for the stream series. Or I'm just recreating Sonic 1. Okay. We maxed out the ring counter. Okay. I got a decent computer. It won't die. I hope. Okay. So we're going to change this event up slightly. So we're gonna do repeat value before dropped times. This here. I'm gonna deactivate this. We're just gonna copy this. What are you confused about? I do not have an idea how to pronounce your name. This here. Actually, we could just copy these. Will this save our issue? No. It does not. Hello, rings. Okay. Add mod support? I would, if I knew how to, like, do that inside of GDevelop. But yeah. So we know. I am not going to be doing Sonic CD after this. It is possible, don't get me wrong, I'm just not going to. Since I want to have, like, basis Sonic 1, something everyone can work off of. And yeah, I might do my own, like, recreations of other Sonic games, or, like, other levels. But, like, I want people to be able to go and create their own things with this. Like, if someone wants a recreation, I want them to have the power to make it. And that'd be answering another question in chat. Yes, you're allowed to make your own fan games with this. As long as you give credit to not only myself, but everyone I'm crediting in this bug, I do kind of love too. Because it's just funny to watch Sonic explode into a million rings. Okay. I know what's happening now. Do we set this to a trigger once? Will that fix the issue? Since what's happening, for every ring we collect, yeah, I think we just fixed it. So basically, for every ring we collected, it'd be doing the process over and over again. For every single frame, for every single ring. So that's why, yes, we had the locations correct, but it'd be spawning a million rings every frame that we are currently in damage. So that's why it stops spawning once we hit the ground. It's because... Okay, let me explain this. We can delete this. We got our rings done. They do not bounce because this stuff here to make them bounce is not active, and this stuff down here is incorrect. Because I made it to be incorrect. And also it makes it easier to pick them back up. So, okay. Okay, reading over this, we need 32 rings. Boom. Boom. All those rings. So now we got the mother load of rings. I'm gonna get this. Oh yeah, I forgot, I stuck that at 16. So where are we? Rings. Okay. I need to find where I mess up that value. Okay. Eat this many times. And we need to go... Space, you become damaged. So, we have a piece of code that I put last stream. So, while we were testing, we didn't have any, like, quote-unquote, null rings. When we went over our preset value of 16. We need to find that now. Okay. Not in here. Damage and death, it should be in here. Okay, it is. There we go. Replace that with 32. Collect all the rings we want. Wait a second. Okay. If it's less than 32. I was going to get Sonic 1 until someone else got it before I did. I'm going to check out your channel, see if you have any, Go to channel. Okay. What I'd really recommend, Ethan, are you wanting Sonic 1 to be your, like, when you said, you were going to do Sonic 1, do you want Sonic 1 to be your, do you want Sonic 1 to be your first, like, game project? That's my question here. While we wait for Ethan to respond, I'm gonna go have fun, collect some rings. Yippee, yummy, yummy onion rings. If you do want to get into game dev, I really suggest doing smaller projects first. Since, like, off the bat, I didn't start off with this, like, amazing recreation of Sonic 1 so far. I've been working in GDevelop for, I'd say, roughly 5 years. Although I only released, like, one game. Yeah, it's one game, and then there's one that I forgot to release. Just because I only released one doesn't mean I haven't been working in the background. This stuff takes a lot of time to, like, understand. Well, not a lot of time. It takes a lot of dedication and effort. Oh, stop looking at me like that, Sonic. So it does take a lot of time, a lot of effort. I do suggest... how do I put this? Starting off small, if you're able to, Ethan, are you able to link that to us? You can send it... I'm pretty sure you're able to send links in chat. If not, I'm not sure. Responding to... I'm gonna call you Yo-Yo, if that's okay with you. Dumb question, but if there's no things here that can cause damage, how does he lose rings? Simple. Spikes. Wait a second. Does this variable does not reset until we get hit. So if I jump on here, we die. Okay. I wouldn't say I'm the best. Like, when it comes to the 3D stuff, I have no idea. When it comes to, like, 2D stuff, I'm pretty good. I'm not the best. There are, and will always be, people that will be, quote-unquote, better than you. Oh, Classic Sonic Simulator. Classic Sonic Simulator, I wouldn't be using it as a tool to create your own games. But it is a really, really good tool to block out levels. Kitty, can you not create biscuits? Well, sharpen your claws on my chair, please. Classic Sonic Simulator, as I was saying, it is not the best a game dev tool because, you know, you can't spread it, you can't really add custom things. But it is a really good tool to, like, help you get started. As well as, what's it called? Like, block out your levels and stuff like that. Okay. Why did we pick up that many rings? Okay. Something's not here, it's not working. Fucking... value before drop. Greater than that. Okay. Set to 32. Okay, if it's greater than that, set it to 32, but if it's less than 32, we set it to just undo a bit here. Gameplay values range. There we go. Also, for yo-yo, what's it called? I just had it so when you press space, you just take damage. This is so I didn't have to run all the way over to the springs and have most of them sit there and run into a wall. Okay. The ring damage is not perfect. What's it called? Okay. Interesting. I forget what I said, Yo-Yo, but Ethan, what did you find out about the first 3 classic Sonic games? Okay. Oh my cat. She is currently in one of my drawers. Yes, that is... So, in the original Genesis games, the life counter was on the bottom left, because it made sense. But on the mobile remasters, since the touch controls were on the bottom... be right back, I got a call. are back. Okay. From what Ethan said about the life counters, before I was interrupted, Yo-Yo said the, exact reason I was gonna talk about. I low-key love the JP art style. I'm gonna try recreating it. I wish Sega did it more of it now. When you say the JP art style, Yo-Yo, do you mean, like, what's it called? That, like, airbrush look that they did for, like, the, like, renders, box art for, like, the classic games in, Plus Mania? And so that is a really fun style, but it makes sense they don't do it, just, like, based on, like, the type of games they make. Called, Ethan saying, I think it should have taken place after Sonic 3 and Knuckles, or Sonic and Knuckles. I don't know how I feel about that, since if you watch Sonic OVA, good movie, I do recommend. What's it called? If you watch, Sonic OVA, it seems to, like, take place since Metal Sonic was introduced in CD, and Metal Sonic was introduced in OVA, but Knuckles and Tails were there. I just, jogged this up to be, like, just artistic choice. I would have to, disagree with you, Ethan. Personally, I saw the order as 1, CD, 2, 3, and then, and Knuckles. Mainly because there's, like, so many things that, what's it called? There's so many things from CD that kind of get expanded on in the other games. You got the CD Spin Dash, which that was further improved in Sonic 2. You got Eggman using, metal doppelgangers of Sonic, which that started in CD. Oh. I put something the wrong way in my room, and now it's bent. I'm gonna have to fix that later. There we go. I'm just gonna place it outside of my room for the moment. But, like, everything from CD gets, like, further expanded on in the later entries. And just for, like, a development cycle, CD was coming before. I don't fully remember what it was. If I'm correct, it was Sonic 2 and CD were being worked on at the same time. But I've heard that in other sources that Sonic CD was just originally meant to be a port of Sonic 1 to the Sega CD. But I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they're being worked on at the same time. But, what's it called? But yeah, like I said, like, things just get expanded on from CD to the other games. Like, the Metal Doppelgangers, you got Silver Sonic, you got Mecha Sonic. Yeah, you got those two. Like, the level types. Like, Sonic 3, both, incorporated CD's exploration and 3's... No, not... CD's exploration and 2's, like, speed. But, like, it all, like, comes together into Sonic 3. What did you find out about all classic games, Ethan? Oh yeah, floating islands seem powerful. I don't blame him. I do blame his evil actions, but, like, I don't blame him for wanting to, like, go and conquer, like, a floating area that seems to be magical in its properties. Like, Angel Island, that is, Master Emerald, Hidden Palace, Little Big Planet, I forgot the lore about it, but, like, a floating island that, well, a floating planet that only appears certain time, like, every, like, once in a blue moon. Like, that's pretty, like, cool and magical, and being able to conquer that, that'd be, like, pretty powerful. Okay. Now that we got taking damage, we're able to lose all of our rings, have them go, whatever. One thing that we don't have here is they are, what's it called? Not really despawning. We have our rings permanently. So what we can do is we can code that. Originally, I had the rings bouncing, but they'd be rocketed up into the air second they hit the ground, and they didn't bounce off walls properly. So what we're going to do is, first of all, dropped rings is pushing on a platform, and we're just going to have ground collisions. Pushing on a platform. Disable, please. Oops, if I press the right key. We're gonna set its X speed to negative. Horizontal speed. Multiply. -1. And that'll just invert it. So, in theory, we hit the wall. And it's not working. Okay. Oh. That's interesting that you managed to crash Sonic 2. Not right here. Yeah, something's not right. Starting angle, speed. Oh. I really hate when YouTube crashes. With my phone, YouTube doesn't really crash. It just lags out when I try to do anything outside of being in YouTube watching videos. Like, I changed my screen orientation, I go to a different app. There's just a rare chance where it'll just sit there and start bugging out. But that's what you get with a cheaper phone. I do see where you're coming from. It's unique. Although I'm going to be honest, I prefer the original, but the CD jumping sound works amazing for Amy and Metal Sonic, who debuted in CD. Okay. We're experiencing an issue. Had a trigger once here. Issue is, when you see, like, when we got, like, decently full rings, it's not 2 circles, it's 1 circle and half circle. Yeah, messing with debug mode really messes with games, which that is to be expected, and that's not really the game's fault. That's not right at all. I'm forever having 32 rings. We can just... Uh-huh. Well, soft lock isn't really a crash. Hey. We have an issue. Set it to that. Yeah, it was a good ending cutscene. So basically what's happening, it seems like if we have over 32 rings, it does not reset. When we get hit. That would be fun, but it'd require me, like, basically rewriting the ring drop code to be broken, and I do not want people to, like, use that. Since I know there will be someone out there that will use the broken code, like, as actual code. And I don't want, like, the Easter egg code to be used. So it seems like when we get hit, when we have 32 rings or over, our ring drop counter is not reset. But... But when I was originally adding death, we replicated the spike bug. Anyways, going in here. Okay, we're going to have to manually reset our ring counter. So what we can easily do is we can go drag a single event all the way up here, have it trigger once where it just sets it to 0. So anytime what's it called? You hit the ground after being damaged, it is set to 0. Well, actually, anytime you're not damaged, what's it called? The rings are green just for a debug standpoint. It's just so I can tell, like, dropped rings apart from, what's it called? Normal stationary rings. It's not really necessary now since, you know, they move. But it was necessary towards the beginning, or they were just spawning in. Like, yeah, like, with my messy layouts, yeah, it kind of makes sense, but... it's just best to, like, tell them apart for now, and then when it's needed, I can change it up. It seems like they're doing in 2 half circles. So, I'm going to do another trigger thing here. If C is pressed, we are going to not set that, but we're going to do time scale. Set it to 0 so we can count these rings. What do you mean you couldn't find a version of Miracle Edition for a while? Okay, got our rings. We're going to do a spin dash jump, and then we're going to immediately stop time once being hit. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 ring. It's okay, Ethan, you can explain it. And I don't blame you, Yo-Yo. What's it called? A lot of, like, older sprite animations, before, like, all the mod gen stuff was created, they used, like, a lot of Sonic 3 sprites for, like, the bases of, like, modern Sonic and stuff like that. Okay. So our rings are not correctly displaying. Seems to be this bit right here. What if we move it outside of it? And make it a trigger once. Because that entire block, it repeats for every single thing. No, we got to have it in the thing. Okay. Huh. That's interesting, Ethan. Well, I always said, we will be doing a debugging stream later down the line. Where we, like, fix small issues, like, rings not properly, like, displaying, since it's only a circle and a half circle for... Oh. That's not good. That's not good at all. Whoopsies. But right now it's just a full circle and a half circle when it's supposed to be 2 full circles. What we're going to do... We're going to ignore this for now. Ground collision. Inside object. Ring. Dropped. Point. X. Left. That's Y. You can send that if you want to, Ethan. I'll make sure to check it out. They even collide with. Must have this be a trigger. Oh. Let's see if this works. And then if it does, I think I know what happened. It does. Okay. So we're gonna duplicate this, disable this one, and set this back to the pushing. Because I think what happened, once it hit a wall, it continuously marked it as pushing. So it just kept on staying in place. What we're gonna do, set it to the pushing. Grab rings, get hit. They do not bounce, so it is not that issue. So we'll just keep it to our point system. We get hit. Rings bounce around for the most part. We do need to have them jumping, so we're just gonna have it be ring dropped. Simulate jump press. So now it will be continuously jumping. Since the jump speed is set to 0. Yeah, the jump speed is set to 0, so they will not bounce whatsoever. Yeah, jump speed. But if we were to set this to, like, max it out real quick. We go collect our rings. They hit and they go everywhere. Okay, we phase through the ground again. We're going to cancel since we don't need to change the jump speed for now. How do we want to do this? Okay. For each ring, we'll set it to ring dropped is vertical speed greater than 0. We set the when you're not being dropped. So if you're we're actually gonna do point. I'm gonna change this to the ground point. No, we'll just do it on ground. The ring dropped is on floor, inverted. Then I'll set the jump speed. Jump speed set to would be ring dropped. Why? No, not our variable speeds. Ring dropped. Headshot character. Y speed divided by bounce, and gives us shorter hop. Alright, we're gonna do game objects. I'm gonna do rings, bounce, speed is multiplied by this number. So this basically allows them to like slowly stop bouncing. Shoot. Vertical speed. Let's just try this. Now. I'm gonna do ABS with the absolute value of our Y speed. And they're still not jumping. Okay. What do we do? For now, we're gonna set a debug. Oh, not a debug. Oh, interesting. Right now we're gonna change our jump speed. I don't know, like 600. See how that works. Go. I know what the issue was. The game was being forced to not make them jump. Move this. That's, well, deactivate that since that is not working at the moment. We'll go to ring dropped. Change its jump speed to like 500. Vertical speed is multiplied by this value when the jump key is released again. So, we got bouncing rings. I'll set it to 1,000. Oh, it's because it's being held down, that's why. What we're gonna do, I think it's in... Oh, what we gotta do now? So, ring dropped, is on floor. And we're just gonna set this to trigger one, so it's always bouncing. It's not much. Does this little bounce. Okay, rings seem to be broken for the time being. And that is fine by me for right now. But hey, we mainly fixed the rings. All we gotta do is add the timer. I'm gonna check one more thing. Removing the triggered ones makes them jump forever. Okay. That's what we wanted. There. Remove the triggered ones on the wall collision check. A gets put into an infinite loop. We're gonna split this up real quick. If you're in there. Trigger once again. There is no invisible entity. I stated this earlier into the stream. Anytime I press space, Sonic will not die. Will not really get hurt. You'll just enter his damage state. That's good for us. Gets the job done. So now we got infinitely bouncing rings. Are these points actually getting into object? We're gonna set this to 18. Set this to 2. Hopefully, it just moves their sensor a bit, so they just bounce. Seems like once they hit that wall, though, they just stop. Sure, you can, say what you found out. Put it in infinite. Oops. Fun. This can infinitely loop. That, oh. Okay. I think I know what I gotta do now. Yeah. That's a pretty well-known fact. I think it was a stylistic choice. It looks nice. It makes the game feel, just look more unique from just being a Sonic 1 ROM hack. Which, at the beginning, it was. Basically. So what's happening with the rings? The reason why they stopped bouncing off walls after a certain point is because they hit the wall. And once they hit the wall, their speed goes bye-bye. Separate. Ground collisions. Okay, they're still coming 0. And then if we set it to ring dropped, animation by name is equal to selected, horizontal speed set to 0, vertical speed we'll set to 0 as well. There we go. Select the rings. Their animation stop. Well, they stop bouncing, and we can collect them. Here. You can set this back into a single thing. An OR statement. No longer bounce on the walls. They're constantly being pushed away. Some are bouncing, some are not. What we're going to do is go mess with some variables here. We're trying to keep X speed as our only variable. Look over our events once again. Okay. So, if ring dropped speed, horizontal speed equal to 0 and vertic addition, we're going to set a variable of all the way down here. Variable value. X speed set to ring dropped. Hedgehog character, not opacity. Hedgehog character. Speed X. That. And we're gonna change horizontal speed. Set to ring underscore dropped. X speed times -1. There we go. Now it always bounds this map. Okay. What do we do here? Add the pushing back, I think. Ring dropped. I'm gonna do the push. Will separate. Is I think towards the bottom. I remember this. No, that's not a condition. I was looking for an action in the conditions. I do that occasionally sometimes. Separate objects. Ground collisions. Huh. How do you know that information, Ethan? Of the Desert Dazzle being the, would be the second largest level in the game. Okay, I think I might go about and just rewrite this entirely. We're going to, so we don't cause any harm, go here, ring dropped, and we're going to deactivate the behavior of Hedgehog character. So no matter what we do now, all of our rings will be in that one spot. And that ring now contains all of our rings. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to make a group, event group, drop, hedgehog. I'm going to do dropped values. If I'm correct, Desert Dazzle was completely scrapped from the game. So he, the person you're watching had to be playing a recreation of the level. Which is, no, not official. Okay. Now, I'm gonna do a little something called adding variables back. So, we got Y speed. Gravity. Number. What are we going to? I can just... Let's just look it up. just gonna grab the simple calculator. Put this in, times it by 4. Got our number. Variables, gravity set to this. Go. Global variables. Speed 4 times 4 is 32. That'll be set to 16. Okay. So, deactivate that. We do not need that anymore. 32, starting angle should be kept the same. I'm gonna grab variables into variable value, x speed, and do the same for y speed. Put these variables in. I said valuables, I meant variables. Okay. Here. Ring. Dropped. X speed. Set this to a negative. With that. Okay. Put this to 4, that is 8. 10 times 4, yeah, it'd be set to 8. Okay, I'm second guessing myself. 4 times 4. That was 16. I don't know where I got 32 from. That's just an error on my end. I'm gonna go back here to 16. Following all of that. Remove all this, but this one. I'm just gonna keep this 0, 0. Every frame we're gonna move. Dropped. Station. The Metal Sonic in Heroes is still the same Metal Sonic, just transformed. Position, add. When dropped, X speed. Have Y. This. We're going to test, see, make sure this is working for us. It's not working exactly how we want it to. Ah. Okay. Let's just delete the hedgehog stuff from this. Delete. Sure. You can always add it back later. And I have stream 4's like how that's done. I have that backed up as well. Called. And then have Y speed. Add. Ring, corrupt, gravity, and adds every frame. Okay. Now we got another issue. That's not really working right. Back to my initial reference that I got here. Ring speed, attack 60. Why is that set to that? Why is that set to ring count? That's probably why it's being all messed up. Yeah, okay. Times it by 60. I don't fully know the purpose of multiplying it by 60. Let's just forget it. Because we could do something very similar down here. X speed times layer speed scale. No, it's time scale. Okay, time scale. There we go. And this makes it so no matter how fast the game's going, it will, like, go at a consistent slow. Normally, okay, without this time scale thing, these rings would be just going at the same speed no matter how fast the game's going. So if we were to freeze the game, like, via pausing, these rings would still be hopping around, stuff like that. But if we do it time scale, it keeps it in line with the current time as well. So we're just going to add that to everything. So now, collect our rings, they go out, do what they're supposed to do. We're gonna do ground collisions, point inside of an object, ring dropped, point X, and this point will be ground. Change X speed. Going to multiply it by negative 0.75. I'm gonna make this a trigger once. Yeah, Icicle Infernal is a way better name than the Icicle Interrogation. I'm supposed to set that to the Y speed, not the X. Silly old me. Okay. That is not right either. Ring drop point is a object, which it wasn't. Multiplies by the negative. Is it not? Try disabling this. That's not right either. Since we can do it like this, collision, ground collisions. Hello, minion. Do I have the music looping? Yes, I do. In the classic, like the Genesis games, rings do not, collide, lift the walls. Okay. Doesn't seem like it's working every frame. If we do moved away, our code will break, since it, in theory, does not touch. This does not have any physics. I'm gonna set this back to trigger once. That breaks too. Try putting this outside. We'll screen it for visual viewing pleasure. So it seems like only one ring will bounce. Get this to... I'll do that. And if you're not in collision, you can have gravity, but if you are in collision, no gravity for you. Okay. Rings face through walls like they do in the Genesis games. Okay. But once they go into a wall, they get forever stuck. That is caused by this. We set it to a trigger once. It does not work. Most of those rings just fall. And we don't want that at all. Try bringing this back in. So we're going to push it. Separate objects. Ground collisions. Now our rings properly bounce, but they get stuck on walls now. Okay. And that is just because it is. That's a Genesis bug that I just accidentally triggered. Okay. Okay. Since when you're in collision, it moves away. So what were you gonna do? Going to grab this, attract it by gravity. So if you're in collision, you are being forced out immediately by your gravity factor. That is not working. Okay. Y position. Subtract 10. Okay, I need to get a ring into a wall. Okay. They now. Ignore walls and they bounce correctly. That's exactly what we want. Now we can have the annoying factor where a ring can just, you can be stuck into a wall, like a corner. Actually, no. We can test this with the spikes as well. We could get hit and some of our rings just go bye-bye. What we can do, though, is we can do the point thing again. Ring dropped. Actually, no, we go to ground. Excuse me. We go to ground collisions. Condition. Actually, no, we do want collisions. So, point inside of an object. Ring underscore dropped. Point. X. Set this to left. This to Y. Go. Get right here as well. Right. Let's trigger once. Grab an OR condition. Put these conditions in here. And we're gonna just have it be multiplied x speed by -1. So when we do end up in a wall, we should just bounce out. We'll watch this. And now, yeah, we now have it so rings can just bounce off the walls. But sometimes they still vanish. But yeah, we basically got rings done. All we gotta do is add the timer and then we're good. And of course, we'll fix the two circles of the rings at a later state. But right now, we're just focused on just making this fun and just having it so it actually works. Yeah, we can have a visual error, that's fine. But it works. Most of the time. Or we can just fix that by... changing this up. No, we don't want to do that. We can change it up by just having it. Or this, instead of being Y, it is X position. When the left is hit, we want to save. Always make sure you save your projects. Wait for this to get out of our way. When it's the left hitting, we want to add. When it's the right hitting, we want to subtract. That's what we're going to do. And hopefully, this just slightly help prevent, like, rings still, like, launching into the walls. Which, it does sometimes, but now most of the time, they will bounce properly. There we go. We now have, rings being dropped. And it works mostly like how it does in the Genesis titles. Okay. Now what we're going to do. I'm gonna set this to... Gotta sneeze real quick. Okay. So now, we got rings. I'm gonna set it to rings, stationary. Put that in here. Rings. Dropped. For the most part, rings are done. And now, since we know rings are done, we know they move, and normal rings do not, we can finally stop making the rings green. So now it's nice yellow color. And it works exactly how we want it to as well. Look at those rings go. So yeah, we finished the rings. And that means we can select all instances of rings and tell them to go bye-bye. And we just put new instances in. And we could just actually have a general layout of rings. That is not all wonky and all over the place like we had before. So we'll just have 2 rings here. Nothing too harmful. Still get hit. Rings go flying. We can still clip through the bottom of this. But that's because it is too thin. But what we're gonna do, we're just gonna extend these blocks all the way this way. There we go. Now we shouldn't, keyword shouldn't, be clipping through the ground here. Now we triggered it, we just landed on it. Aim ourselves. And when we land on the corner, that's when we clipped. And that's not really happening anymore. Oh yeah, I did forget one thing about the rings, now that I think about it. I forgot about their, their lifespan. So 256 steps. Okay. Steps are frame. Okay, so this slows down over their lifespan. Okay. Right now, we are not going to add that. Because I'm not aiming to be, like, fully perfect. But we can. Okay, we need to tweak the death. But 256 steps. We're gonna do basics. Colliding. Calculations. Subpixels. Speeds. So what we're gonna do? Simple. Ring lifespan. Sonic 1. Functions, range. Points, damage control. Or have games like, provide the parry has 4 or more, like, it has been slots, accessing new levels. Range, dummy range, ring gates. Okay. That's good, minion. Abrupt ring lifespan. It doesn't tell us the lifespan. Okay. So, what exactly is your life? What is a step? That's my question. Basics. Control F, step. Nothing in here. Calculations. Basics. Loss. Nothing. Steps. Game objects. This is one of the only instances of steps. Assume steps is frames. Oh, hello again, Tales Reverie. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out how long rings live for. Flip collision. do slip. Slip. Falling is slipping down. Gotta... The control lock timer. Okay. So it seems like 30. Set to 30. Okay. So we're gonna assume a step is a frame. Okay. Now we gotta go find... our ring stuff again. Game objects. Page is gonna load. Might not be the most productive stream, but actually we could just go backwards. Basics, game objects. Here we are. Gravity, green bounds, bring the lifespan. 256 steps. Okay. So there is 60 steps in a second. There is. Okay. 256 divided by 60. So we're just gonna say they last about 4 seconds. Rings dropped. Okay, we're gonna have to organize this. Is selecting. Oh, gotta respond to something real quick. Okay. So first, we get the left or right collision. We got it moving, so we'll have the movement on top, gravity, and there we go. Okay. Now we're gonna have it be trigger once, timer. We go to object timer, ring dropped, ring life. Okay. Value. Timer. Value of object timer. Dropped. Greater than equal to. Say about 3 seconds. Timer. Ring life. I'm gonna add flashing. Same thing we have for here. I'm gonna put that on our ring dropped. Behaviors, paste. Trigger this once. Ring dropped. Flash visibility, 0. Stationary. We don't need that anymore. Selected. set this for rings. Go. So we don't want it to flash. We want it to just stop flashing. Okay. The rings stop flashing once they're collected. But they're flashing once they start to die. And then if it's greater than 4.25 seconds, trigger once. We're just gonna delete the object. Actually, we'll just hide ring drop, since when it's hidden, it deletes. Hide. Okay. So now, we can go, select our singular ring, and just watch this go. Okay. Disable that. Oh, I know what causes it. Once it starts flashing. I'll be right back. I gotta go respond to a call. And we're back. I just had a call from my grandmother. And that reminds me, in 30 minutes, I'll be ending the stream. Since I gotta go do something in the real world. But while we're here, we can finish up our rings. So we've seen, the second the ring hides, it deletes. It is meant to do that. So we're gonna sit here, watch. And then, yeah, it's just flashing now. Go back here. Lifespan. Special animation. Okay. I'm gonna set this to be a bit slower, to about 1, or actually, we can make this 0.5. So we get hit, rings start bouncing, rings start fading into obscurity, and then they'd be deleted. Seems like they do not act when they're not on screen, though. Or they're just not deleting in general. Oh, because... yeah. We just had two things that counteracted each other. Since originally when I did this one, I did it under the knowledge of, hey, if you hide it, it will, you know, be hidden. So yeah, basically, this will just cause it to hide. Which is, it's already hiding, so. Okay. We get hit. Rings start despawning, and now they're gone. And now we have no rings. So rings, I can now say, are fully complete. We do not have to mess with this anymore until, like, we start tweaking and fixing things. Okay. So, now we got one thing I want to add, is springs. So what we're going to do, go to the Sprider's resource, just browse quickly, see everything's still being cool. We go to Sega Genesis, we go to Sonic 1, wait a second. They dumped the promotional cartridge. My mouse has been being funky lately. Anyways. We go here. Go to all the way down to Common Objects. Download Sheet. And now we got our springs. What we're gonna do, open up Aspry. File, open. Okay. So, we basically... horizontal... So when the springs are horizontal, they seem to be, drawn differently. Okay. The max size here is 32 by 32. We can work with that. So we're just gonna work with the red spring first. Grab this, new, 32 by 32. Okay. Put this here. I'm gonna make a total of 6 frames. Go. What am I? Oh yeah. We're going to be looking for our assets, graphics, players, Sonic, and we're just going to grab his palette from here. Agree. And we'll just steal his palette and place it here. There we go. No, we can't do it like that. We'll take care of this. Red Springs, they're using player palette. Okay. I'm gonna copy this. Move this down. So this is like the spring being pressed on. And now we're gonna have this go all the way over here and grab this extended spring. Now, the springs go down and then go up. Now we gotta do the same thing with the side springs, which surprisingly have more shine to them than the vertical springs. But here, remove that color, copy, move this in, and then we grab the final frame. Go here. And now we got springs both directions. Now we can go sprite, color mode indexed, file, save as. We go to objects, common, springs. We got our normal ring. We're gonna have spring red -1. And this follows the naming. Or do we do underscore for everything? If we did underscore for everything, we're gonna keep the underscore. Okay. We'll just keep underscore for the objects. Spikes is underscore, so springs will have as an underscore as well. Underscore. All formats. We don't want that, so we set it to PNG. Save. And we got that. So what we want to do now is we want to remove this color. Like this. We want to grab these final two colors, which that is in the rings sprite. We're just gonna grab it, agree, and yoink these. And remap palette. That's not right. Okay. Go here, remap palette. We're good. What we're gonna do, grab our paint bucket and just color all of the frames correct color. Go with this color, go around, and then we do it with the final color. Okay. Now we got our yellow springs. Okay. That's correct. And this is the same. Okay. File, save as spring yellow. Okay. What do we want to do? We got our scene here. Everything looks fine. We can build out a section, springs. How we're gonna do that, you might ask? Good question. Let's have a spike pit. Delete this wall. Have this one. 2, 3, 4. We're going to have to split this wall up into 2. Actually, this stays like this. We'll grab our spikes, move them up. Grab it. Not that. Here, grab this wall. 1, 2, 3, 4. This goes up. Our spikes go into the pit. Just one. Turn those variables on. Put this 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is just our magic number. Welcome back, Ethan. We're just changing the level up slightly so we can start working on the springs. And I'll just set a little arc rings above this spike pit. Just more rings for us to get. Go up, we get those rings. Spike pit's right there. And we're gonna have our new object of our spring. Right. Import images. springs. Start with the yellow. Yellow. Idle. And just do yellow. Okay. Yellow. Vertical. Idle. Yellow vertical. Active. So it's just basically going to be the same thing. Like this. Huh. Why does it do the springs remind you of the Mandela effect? Hi, puppers. My puppy has come to say hi to me. No. And she sneezed on me. Behavior. Grab ground. Platform. Could you explain it? Variables. We're gonna have force. Advanced scale of 4. Zero. Now, able to go and stand on this casual spring like nothing's happening. Balance on that. Balance here. Balance there. That is not just you. A lot of ROM hacks had blue/purple springs. So that's might have what you thought of it from. Grab this tall wall. 1, 2, 4. Okay. Go back to here. Grab our springs. Look at this image real quick. Spring hitbox turns out a tiny bit more than the actual sprite. Collision masks. Custom. This goes 0, 0, 32, 32. Okay. Springs. Save. Now, we gotta add the ability to actually bounce off of this. Okay. So, we want to add the horizontal, we want to put in all the animations, just so we got them. It's here. About animation speed of 14. And what if we set it to 10? You don't really get that much of an oomph from it. Okay, so yellow, horizontal. Name this to idle. Keep this one as active. And now we're gonna do the red ones. Basically gonna keep the same names, but change yellow out for red. Make Steve's correct. Oh, consistent. I wouldn't say correct. This is just an eyeball. Okay. Vertical. Red. Red and active. Have this one, yellow. Change that to red. This one to red as well. We're gonna go set this to active. Now, all these are the same. And now we gotta configure our collision masks. Vertical springs are basically... Let me just read this. What if that's 16 so it goes all the way? Height of 14. We go to our horizontal. We're gonna move these into place. And then we're gonna math it out. Set this to 14. No, not 14. Keep this 16. This is set to 31, 31, 1, and 1. So 16, 1, 31. Okay. 16, 16, 1. No, not 1. This is set to 1. This one's set to 1. And then we got 31, 31. Okay. Do the same thing here. 16, 16. 1, 1. 31, 31. One final time. Apply. Some may not agree on this, but I would say Underground might be the best Sonic show. The, cookie jar Sonic shows were really fun. I really enjoyed them when I was younger. Okay. So now, we got springs. And then the force would be a whatever value we want to set it to. So vertical springs, so it's yellow, so it goes up at 10. So we're going to set value to that. And it goes up at a speed of 240. 40. So. Springs. Okay, wait. So, player collision. Where is it? On a given platform, would be our springs. I'm gonna make this a trigger once. There we go. Okay. Spring. Height, width, all the same. Angle equal to 0. So if you're on the platform, it's 0. We're going to be moved up by 1 pixel. So Y position, subtract 1 pixel, and then you'd be sent up that speed. So, go to vertical speed, set to negative, actually no, we'll just set it to springs, force. Okay. Standing on springs, trigger once. Okay. And we'll just set this to negative. So, when we jump on it, we get sent up. Okay. And we just change our animation to spring. Up. Bounce up. Spring. Current frame set to 0. And then we're going to set this animation. Aim. Add it by 1. And then when the animation is done, subtract it by 1. But in theory, how it works right now, if we don't add our stuff, it goes up, we get bounced, but if we bounce again, it changes orientation, and does it again, and again, and again. Boing. Okay. So, spring animation by name contains use expression active and then if the animation is done, and then we're just going to subtract this. This works for us now. But if we're to have, like, additional things, it might break. But since this works now, we'll keep it how it is. Okay. We'll add another variable. Orientation. I'm gonna set this up. Springs, variable value, orientation, equal to up. We will change this to all caps, just for ease. Okay. So, okay. Now we're gonna change things about. Player animations equal to spring. And then our Y speed is vertical speed is greater than 0. We're going to change our animation to walk. Oh, that's speed act. Okay. So now, just like in the classic games, go up, and then when you're done with the animation, you go back into the walk animation. We're just gonna set this to 0.5. We go up here, boing. And then we're like, your animation is set. So we're going to increase that to 325, sure. Okay. Go back here. Activation. Animations. Relax compressed. That. Spring will no longer be solid. So we're just gonna invert this. Okay. We'll be smart about this. So if it does not contain active, then it'll start doing these. Okay. Welcome to my channel. Currently I'm in the stream series of recreating Sonic 1 inside of GDevelop. Okay. I hope you do enjoy your stay. I hope you do enjoy the stream. Although, it is actually about to end. I'm sorry that you just found out about my channel, and it's just ending the stream. But I do have my previous streams up on my channel that you can always go and watch as well. But that is today's stream. We fixed the ring behavior. So now it works mostly properly. And it does it via math instead of just manual calculations, each single ring. And now we were in the progress of adding springs. Springs are really easy to add, and I do suggest when you do add springs to your own game, like using this, do not use a spring object, just use like the simple where you get the player to be no longer grounded if it's an up spring, and then add the spring force. But we added everything. But overall, that's the end of today's stream. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this stream. If you are here, consider liking and subscribing if you made it this far. Or if you're watching the stream now, or you're just watching it while it's not live. I hope you enjoy. This is UnknownUney, signing off.